It was 100 days from the day that it was announced that Kai had been promoted to vice president at the university and the day I sat in front of the search committee. And it was 100 long days. But that's when it really ramped up. That day, the day it was announced that Kai had been promoted and the university was going to launch a national search for their next director of athletics, I called a very close friend of mine, great colleague of mine, and I said, that's where I want to be.
And that's where he is. Bill McGillis has been on the job at the University of San Diego as the athletic there for just over a year, and we have finally landed him live on the sports rail. Bill, thank you for taking time out of your
I'm honored.
It was a busy schedule. Yeah. In interest of full disclosure, you held a luncheon for the media today. I was unable to attend, and Brandon Stone went in my stead. So I apologize for that.
We fed him. He ate well, trust me.
What was the theme of the lunch today?
We're going through a strategic planning process as a department, and this summer I intend to publish and distribute a kind of the path forward for our department and for Torero Athletics. And so we're visiting with a lot of different stakeholders in the community: students, faculty, staff, alums, corporate partners. And I wanted to get the perspective of the media on how our program is viewed through someone's lens other than my own.
Tell me one thing you learned today.
It was really pretty consistent with the perceptions that others had shared. You know, I think members of the media here view our program as a program of integrity, one that's you know, that people think highly of. I think that everybody we talk to hopes for a future more consistent, competitive success. You know, so we talked about that, and we talked about fan support and engagement of fans.
Which I want to get to, but that integrity got tested probably earlier in your AD career here than you had probably hoped. When one of your prominent coaches gets arrested, is there a manual for ADs and crisis management? What do you do when that phone call comes in?
You know, actually, there's not a manual, but I'll tell you truthfully, I've slept really well at night as the AD at the University of San Diego, and that's what I anticipated when I came here. And I've slept well since then. You know, when mistakes happen and there's human failure at any institution or with any company, you know, I think you deal with it, you take it on, you address it transparently, and you go from there.
Coach Smith, he has done so much for the program. He's obviously getting the arrows pointed in the right direction. Was there any thought or any way of trying to figure out a path forward where he could have stayed on?
You know, I think Lamont came to the conclusion that his resignation was the best thing for the program. He loves the university. He went here, played here, coached here, and you know, he did make a great impact on our program, both as a student athlete and as a coach. But he knew that was the way forward for us.
Tell us about the decision, if you will, of keeping Sam. When that all broke, did you think Sam was going to be your next football or basketball coach?
You know, I was not certain at that time. And in fact, had you asked me 3 months or 6 months before it opened and said, hey, if Lamont Smith gets hired away and takes the big money somewhere, is Sam your next guy? I would have told you I wasn't sure, because I had not been around him enough and seen him in enough challenging situations at that point in time. But I'll tell you that the moment that the situation hit, that night when I first talked to him about serving on an interim basis, the way he responded to that, the poise he demonstrated, in a situation where you got to keep in mind that was a close friend of his who was going through that time. But I think he compartmentalized that, and he was all about serving the team and did a heck of a job.
He kept it together. I just want to jump ahead. He was sitting in that chair just not so long ago, and we were talking about getting fannies in the seats inside the Slim Jim. Listen to this. Is getting fans in the seats. Steve Fisher, in his early days, was walking around recruiting fans, almost begging them to play. Is that something that you're going to have to do?
Absolutely, and definitely in the community of San Diego, but also on campus. It's for us to show there's so many talented people on our campus in so many aspects of life, and for us to show them that their game nights are just as important to us as we want our game nights to be to them.
Because right now you don't have the rabid home court advantage.
Right. No, and that's something that we're striving for and excited about building.
So how do you get that I mean, I've been talking about it for 20 years. How do you get that rabid
Well,
home
first
court
of all,
advantage?
I've got to tell you, and look at that picture of Sam. I've got to tell you that I told my marketing person, one of the things about Sam that we're really going to benefit from is his willingness to embrace the responsibility of promoting our program. Not just be willing to do it, but embrace it. So the night he was hired and the next day, he's on campus giving Uber rides on a golf cart to students, serving coffee in the coffee shop. But I called my marketing girl. I said, hey, Marcy, he's got to wear a hat like Trump, you know, that says head basketball coach or
Otherwise,
something on his
he
shirt.
looks like
they think he's another student.
or athlete.
But you know what we have to do? We have to win at a very high level,
and
then we've got to engage our people in a big, big way. And
let's talk about football, because we've been focused on basketball so much we've overlooked the fact that's been the backbone to your athletic department. It's one thing to be successful, to remain successful.
Yeah.
Could you, it's always Rocky Long. Dale Lindsay gets lost in the shuffle in that, and he has the same characteristics of Rocky Long.
Oh, he does.
You know,
he does.
the same
no, exactly.
salt of the earth kind of guy.
Tells it like it is, right? There's not a bunch of coach speak with Rocky Long or Dale Lindsay. I was actually at New Mexico for 4 years with Rocky when he was the head football coach there, so I know him well. San Diego State's done a heck of a job in football. It's amazing what Rocky's done. Our football program, though, is way too under the radar. I mean, it's an excellent program, winning 10, 11 games a year, top 25 at the FCS level. We've got the two of the three oldest coaches in college football, by the way, in our own town. And Rocky's a baby compared to Dale. Dale's 75 years old.
Is there any way that program can move up? Is there any?
I think we're right where we need to be.
Okay.
We had that conversation at lunch today, actually, with the media. I think we're where we need to be for this reason. I mean, in football, I kind of view us as an Ivy League football model. You know, we're Division I, but we're non-scholarship. We're playing at the FCS level. But we're winning at an exceptionally high level. We're graduating 100% of our guys. They're going on to do incredible things. The experience of the athletes is great in terms of how they enjoy our football program. Do I wish there was more publicity, larger crowd, all that? Sure. But that's not how you measure an excellent football program.
Of course.
So I think we're at the right level. We're winning at the level we're at.
I know he predates you, but Jim Harbaugh, I would think, would remain a selling point for the school in the sense that you can show athletes that, look at his meteoric rise up the coaching ladder.
Yeah.
If you're hiring a coach or recruiting an athlete, just because it's USD, it doesn't mean you can't achieve
No,
the
that's
highest.
true. And by the way, I need to get in Jim Harbaugh's pocket, in his pocketbook, because we help
you
catapult
launched
him
him.
forward. But, more important than that is Jamal Agnew.
Explain why.
And other NFL players.
Those guys that have made it.
Jamal, out of Point Loma, not recruited, no Division I offers, pays to come to the University of San Diego, and it goes to show you that if you're a good enough player,
they'll find you.
And you're well coached, and you develop, you're committed, they'll find you. He ends up going in the 5th round, all pro as a rookie. We'll have 2 or 3 guys in NFL camps this year. And, I think, and by the way, Dale Lindsay is the only college football coach in America, and there's about 250, I think it's 254 Division I football programs. Dale Lindsay is the only coach in America who coached 20 years in the NFL.
Wow.
So it's an asset we have.
Last question. We have about 25 seconds left.
Is that just in the first segment?
You spent some time in Hattiesburg.
Yeah.
There's a guy there.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this Favre guy?
Brett's awesome guy. He played at Southern Miss. He still lives in Hattiesburg, and he was around our program a ton. And the way people think he is, that's who he is. He loves to hunt, fish, bale hay, drive around in his truck, make commercials. He made one of those like copper sleeve or, the razor blade. One of them he made right outside my office, and it was fun to watch.
All right, we're out of time. So
Thank you, Paul.
This is part 1 of, let's do this again.
Love to. Thank you.
Because we're going to talk more about Torero
Let's
sports.
do it.
A lot of stuff we didn't get to. Thank you, Bill. We'll have more coming your way in the 6 o'clock hour. We'll be talking to a pair of Jaguar assistant coaches from Southwestern College. We have all those coming your way on the ASR tonight. A lot of prep stuff. I hope you enjoyed the 5 p.m. newscast. Here's some good news. The 6 p.m. newscast is coming right around the bend.